Let's go straight to Nyeri County, where Martin Munene tells us that the police officers in that area are raiding a house because apparently there's some meat that is uninspected. Tell us about what's behind you, Martin.
All right, very good morning to you, Sam Gituko, and like you rightly put it, we're coming to you from Nyeri town. There's a house behind me, as you can see, and there's a raid ongoing from this particular house, and as you can see out here, there are sacks of meat. It is not yet clear what meat this is. We don't know from which animal, we don't know whether it's beef, we don't know whether it's goat meat or whatever it is, but we can confirm that from the police, they were able to raid this particular house, and this is just part of what they have recovered. I understand there's still more inside, and they suspect that this meat has been making its way into the market, into the Nyeri market, to unsuspecting, consumers. And I just want to speak to the police to help us understand, what exactly they've recovered and how they were able to come to this information. And also I'll speak to a health inspector to help us understand maybe what is the danger of such meat making it into the market. Karibu sana bwana OCPD, just kindly introduce yourself briefly and tell us, how are you able to get this information and maybe what have you recovered so far?
Thank you, Martin. My name is Paul Kuria, the Sub-County Police Commander, Nyeri Central. I wish to confirm that we were following information that there were some people who are slaughtering meat or uninspected carcasses, and they would bring the meat to these premises, and then it would later be transported to hotels and other places within Nyeri town and other areas. We are able to follow up on the same, and fortunately we were able to get inside this house, which you can see behind me, and we found about 4 deep freezers in that premises, and inside there was a lot of meat packaged in small sacks, as you can see, and the owner was not able to explain fully how the meat was found itself into this place, because this is not a butchery, it is not a licensed premises to deal with meat or any human food. And so we've decided to call in other partners in this exercise, the public health and the veterinary, who have confirmed to us the meat is not inspected. Again, like I've said, this premises is not licensed. Also, we've had cases of stock theft in other areas of the Nyeri County where animals are stolen, and we suspect this is the same animals that are slaughtered, may be somewhere in the bush, and the meat brought to these premises and then sold or given to unsuspecting wananchi, which is a threat to health and other of health hazards.
All right, and maybe very briefly, have you made any arrests so far?
Yeah, we have arrested the occupier of the premises, who has actually owned up to the meat, and soon we are going to take him to court with the relevant charges.
All right, thank you very much. And Sam, if you allow me, I want to speak to a health inspector to just help us understand what is the danger of this kind of meat making it into the market. Of course, we've been seeing in the news the outbreaks across the country, for example, in Nakuru, the anthrax and the like, and like you've had the issue of livestock theft. But just so that we get a clear picture of what it means for such meat being in the market, let us speak to an inspector of health. Very briefly, introduce yourself, sir, and kindly, if you can face me, help us understand, what does this mean to the Nyeri consumer? What would be the effect of such meat making it to the market?
I am Joseph Masharia Kevisho. I am a public health officer based in Nyeri Central Public Health Office. I was informed that there are people dealing with storing meat in their residential area. And we were concerned because you can't keep 2 carcasses for your own consumption, and we have seen it's only 2 occupants, so it is not reasonable for them to keep that quantity of meat. There are dangers of passing zoonotic infections to human beings, like anthrax and other diseases, and that is why we are so vigilant when it comes to uninspected meat. I've inspected the meat myself. I've seen that where we make inspections, the incisions are made, they have not been incised. I've seen most of the parts that we incise. I've observed some of the lymph nodes, they have not been incised. I've seen one of the kidneys, it has not been incised. and there are signs that the meat is inspected. Also, we have foul smell coming from the meat, and that it shows it is also decomposing. There is greenish color, which is a sign of decomposition. So the meat is also undergoing decomposition. Again, the foul smell can attest to that. The way it is packed from these carrier bags, it shows it is not hygienic, and again there is risk of contamination, and the meat can also cause diarrheal diseases because of contamination.
All right. Thank you very much. Like you've heard some, he says that, you know, from the way this particular meat has been packaged, it means that if it makes it into the market, besides diseases that could come from, you know, the fact that the meat has not been inspected, or the meat, for example, could have, you know, a disease also, the fact that it has been packaged as it has been packaged, it means that then it could lead to diseases that come from, you know, a lack of hygiene, when it comes to handling food items. And it's a thing that we're going to be following up to just see and understand exactly where this meat has come from, you know, and just, you know, the picture it paints is that there has been, you know, a lot of meat making it into the market that has not been inspected. And like earlier the OCPD was saying, in Nyeri we have actually witnessed several cases of livestock theft. It's a story that we've done severally, where we have gone and had people actually saying that they've lost cattle, they've lost goats, and we are yet to establish exactly what this meat is, but we're going to be doing that shortly from the inspector. Back to you in studio, Sam from Nyeri County, Martin Munene.